All right, Miss Vincent. Last time we spoke, I believe, shortly after the little eviction vote. Um, so since then, your beloved fan club's air Clash won the HOH. Um, so how are you feeling initially when Clash won HOH?
So it was kind of a weird feeling because like before he won, Kathy left. So like initially I was wanting someone like and like Clash's Angels to win it because I wanted like the sides to kind of like even out as far as who's going home. But since Kathy left, I was fine with Clash winning it. Um I was decently vocal about keeping him. And I think he knew that too. But at the same time, like I was just very like I wasn't fully sure of what he was doing because I don't know, he didn't really talk much. Like I didn't feel like he was super against me. I'm not sure, but um yeah, I really don't know. And I still don't really know what he would have done if he would have stayed. So
Very interesting. So speaking of Miss Kathy, obviously she had to unfortunately walk. Um, How do you feel like that affected your game? If it was good or bad for you?
I think it was actually kind of good because I think that she did have a better relationship with Hex than I had with Kathy. So I think it was good for me that Hex didn't have another shooter in her corner. Like if me and Hex were on the block, I feel like she'd probably vote me out instead of Hex. So
All right, interesting. So, um, the auditions for last week had occurred, and Zeeves gets in with 121 tokens. I know you got a big reaction to Hex getting in the previous week with 60. So, kind of what were you thinking about that?
I didn't really mind that as much just because he already got a shit ton of tokens from Ty. So he already put like 50 on himself, and I think Hex gave him some, and he asked other people to as well. So I didn't really mind that, and it didn't surprise me. But I do think that, like I anticipated before, I do think that it enlarged the target on vets because two vets have won the advantages back to back now. So that makes me really nervous.
Very interesting. So has he revealed to you at all what he like, had won and like what you think of it?
Yeah, he has like the advantage where if I recall correctly, it's if the veto gets used, if he uses the advantage, then the person still sitting on the block gets to choose the renominee. So basically, they get to choose who they have to be up against in a vote.
Interesting. Do you think this will be a good thing for your game? Are you going to keep this to yourself and the alliance, or?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely keeping it to myself. If he wants to tell people, that's on him. That's his thing. But I'm not telling anyone about that. I don't want people to like. I mean, I'm sure that there's assumptions like how close the vets are and stuff, but I don't want like, yeah, I don't need to be enlarging the target.
Yeah, so I had talked a little bit about like her sponsorship from the previous week. So what were you thinking of that?
Um, I thought it was fine. I mean, she clearly didn't need it because she was in good with Clash and she got immunity for the week. So again, huge target for really no reason. Yeah. Um, the tokens are a mess. So.
Very interesting. So, sorry about those sounds. So, um, okay, so the power veto competition happens. You weren't drawn for the veto. Did you have any preference as far as like who you would like to see have won? Oh, and obviously with Hunter, Robin nominated, so how you feel about them nominated and like the veto and all that?
Yeah, so I really wanted anyone but Hunter or Robin to win. That would be fine with me. Although it was pretty stacked in Clash's Angels, now Kathy's Angels favor as far as the veto picks to where they could pull someone down. But I really wanted Hunter gone. Granted, I'm fine with Clash's expulsion. Still not sure what that's about, but I'm fine with that because he wasn't like giving me a lot to work off of. I'm not sure if he was just like sort of semi inactive. I don't even know at this point, honestly. Um, so like it's still good for me that he went. However, I still really would have rather Hunter have went, and especially now that Hunter has been nominated, I think he's going to gun hard for the HOH. So
Very interesting. Um, the fact that you, how do I say? So Nathan winning the veto 2 weeks in a row. Like, is this like? Do you feel like this is concerning for you, or do you like? Are you fine with that, or what's
not
going on?
really. I'm fine with it. He kind of, I don't know. He's okay with me socially, but he also like knows about me, Hex and Walker being close. So or Zeus. So I'm okay with it. I just like don't want him to get messy and expose our tea too much.
All right, and I know post eviction, they discussed kind of in the alliance about, and Clash's fan club now rebranded, about Hex and Z's. They kind of came to you of like, hey, we're getting like this little like alliance thing set up, and it didn't include you. Did that like affect your strategy at all as far as like how you view them, or
Oh, I'm sorry. Repeat that. I submitted for the HOH comp.
the in Clash's fan club now rebranded, they discussed forming an alliance that did not include you. So I asked, did that
Oh,
affect your strategy as far as how you view them?
not really because they told me. And basically everyone in that alliance has told me about it except for Leah. So I really don't mind that. I'm not really too worried because I do feel pretty comfortable with Leah. I think that she would probably be an early, easy target for anyone in Kathy's Angels.
Okay, interesting. So with this HOH coming up, do you feel like you're gunning for this?
I'm really torn because if I win it, I only have a very select few of people that I could safely nominate. And this is actually going to be the case for the rest of the season for me. And it's going to be really messy. I can only really nominate Danielle. Danielle. I mean, I guess I could nominate Leah, but it would be like, it would probably be my safest option if I did nominate Leah
Mm-hmm.
and Danielle together. Because if I go against the Kathy's Angels Alliance, I feel like that would just make me a target for them. Obviously, can't nominate Zeeves, Hex, Dre, Robin, Nathan, Swan, or Ari, or Hunter, even though I really want to. So I'm like in a very messy position right now to where I need to get targeted and keep myself safe after being targeted to really start drawing blood.
All right, interesting. And with the auditions for this cycle, how do you think? Are you planning to like try to put yourself in for a sponsorship, or do you have
Absolutely
someone
not.
else in mind? Or
As long as the newbie gets it, I'm so good. And as long as it's not like Hunter or Danielle, I'm so good.
all right, interesting. So let's talk about the little elephant in the room. Um, so your A-list alliance has been on a little scavenger hunt for the
Sure
past few
have.
days, and you ended up stumbling upon the game-defining twist.
I
So,
sure did.
how did you feel to find the legacy veto?
So we've been doing this guessing game in the private DR for like 4 days, 3 or 4 days now. And we keep getting closer. We kept getting closer and closer to it. And it came down to like the final day, which was today. And Swan went first. and then Ari went second, and we were just guessing in between the two numbers that we already knew it was in between. So once Ari put in her guess, it said she didn't get it. So it said, so we knew for sure that the next number that I guessed was going to be it. So I'm very, very, very happy that I'm the one who got it, because this just changed my game completely, basically.
Okay, so kind of what do you think the most optimal strategy would be for you moving forward with it in mind?
So first of all, Swan and Ari really can never go against me or put me up on the block or anything, or like do anything to vote me out, because they know I have it and they know it's a legacy veto, which means I can give it to whoever the fuck I want to. And if they betray me, I think they know that they're not going to get it. So that already puts me in like even better with them, and I already felt great with them. Um, Puts me in better with them. Um, I'm not telling Zeeves or Hex about it. Um, because they would know that I like didn't tell them about the counting in the first place, and they would know that like counting from 0 to 1000, like I would not have been able to do that by myself, so it would just be like a big red flag. So I'm just keeping that in that alliance for right now. However, if they were to find out about it later on down the line, um it's still huge leverage for me, because like what are they going to do, like be comfortable with me having it, or are they going to vote me out and they have no idea where the veto is going to go?
Very interesting. Um, so, if you were to get voted out and it had, nothing to do with them, do you feel like you would want to hand it to either Ari or Swan, or would you still give it to someone else?
um that's a really good question, and it would definitely come down to like the specifics of the week, who I felt had a hand in voting me out, um and yeah, kind of who I thought was behind it or was like more cool with me going. I've been kind of like wary about Hex and Zeeves going against me since the beginning, like more so Hex. Um, I do think that they are willing to cut me down the line. I don't think it would be anytime soon, but down the line. So this is also a huge kind of like thing in my pocket to pull out if they ever do try it with me. It really depends though. Like I could end up giving it to Swan and Ari because we did all find it together, uh, and we all worked together on it. Or I could give it to Zeeves or Hex. Or if I feel betrayed by both groups, I'll give it to fucking Nathan or Dre or Robin.
Crying. Very interesting. Um, okay. So, do you feel like, okay, so kind of based on what you're describing, it sounds like you view yourself a bit like the third in that Clash's fan club group.
Not necessarily the third, but the only reason I feel like that is because I have won before. And I do feel like, you know, they're both hungry for a win, and I totally get it. Like this is their third time playing as well, and they haven't won yet. So I would just expect them to end up cutting me at some point and being in on it together and being like, okay, yeah, like now's the time we gotta let go of Vlin. So I hope that isn't the case. But yeah,
All right, interesting.
I just have to
So,
prepare for it first.
please. So, kind of give us like a little like updated trust rankings of like how you feel about everyone in the house.
Right now, um, I would say that it's a very close, tight um top four with Zeeves, Hex, Swan, and Ari. Like I'm kind of in the middle of two different trios with them, and I feel like very good with both of them, especially this early on. Like I don't think that Hex and Zeeves are planning on turning on me like literally anytime soon, especially with like Clash leaving and Kathy leaving. Like I think they know they need me like really bad. So yeah, I'm really scared about this upcoming HOH though, because I'm really not sure who's going to be online enough to really gun for it. And honestly, I'm thinking I might just need to go ahead and gun for it and put up Danielle and Leah. I'm just too scared of Kathy's Angels, like Hunter winning and putting up like Walker or Zeeves and Hex.
All right, very interesting. Um, so let me go through some names. I don't think you've mentioned too much, just to see like kind of where your head is at with them. Um, so Miss Danielle, you've mentioned, you would want to put her up, but like, so what's going on there of like why you're looking at Danielle as a target?
I just think that she would be the least amount of blood on my hands to put up. She doesn't really talk to me a lot. She's left me on red. I know she's in really good with Robin and like probably Dre, if I had to guess. Um, and yeah, she would just be really easy to put up, as with Leah. Leah, like I've actually had a pretty good social with, but the issue is like if I put up Hunter, my like I'm fucked. Like I feel like Robin, Dre, I feel like they would both go after me. Actually though, I guess that's the only people that would go after me for that, huh? Gagging. Maybe I just do it.
Oh, okay, interesting. So how are you feeling about Robin in the house?
He is definitely doing his Robin things. You know, he is playing his little snaky Robin game, going in behind the corners, trying to throw people under the bus, trying to cause paranoia. It definitely got him on the block last week. And yeah, he just better watch it. He better keep it cute. I'm fine with yeah, I'm fine with working with him, but the inkling that he like starts to turn on me, it's over. And I do have I don't think he knows that I'm like in tight with Swan and Ari. So if they mention anything about him targeting me, I think that they would tell me immediately.
All right, very interesting. Well, thank you, Lynn. This is very insightful.
Of course.
Period. I'll let you know when the streets are hungry again.
Okie dokie.
Toots.
Toots.